The role of that primary caregiver as a mom is so important. And when we don't replenish ourselves so that we can pour from this vessel into someone else, we have nothing. You're pulling out dust and air and fog and just
Leftovers.
leftover. It's
Yeah.
no good. You can't pour into anybody with quality if you don't even have it in yourself.
Merry Christmas! Hello, moms. You're watching the Moms Can Too podcast, and I am so excited. This is my favorite season of the year, and I have been anxiously waiting to do this episode. One, because it's around Christmas time, and secondly, because I have a special guest who has a lot of wisdom. Please help me welcome Emma Davis.
Good afternoon. Hello, ladies. Hello, moms.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much for
excited. Thank you for
coming.
your vision.
Oh.
Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your patience and tolerance and acceptance. Thank you for that. So just thank you.
Thank
you for your
you.
laughter. Thank you for your joy. Thank
You're
you.
so kind. Joyful
I mean that.
Emma.
Thank you.
You know, I was thinking about this when I was talking to you, and I was like, I don't even know when I met you.
Mhm.
I can't even remember. But you know what? As I kept thinking about it, I was like, I don't even care. I'm just grateful that I know her.
Yay. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. And every time I see you,
Uh-huh.
either at a social run
Uh-huh.
or a race,
Mhm.
you're either dancing
Making up steps. Making up moves.
or you're laughing. And
Yeah.
I just love your energy. So thank you for your joy.
Yay, you're
It's
welcome.
like it rubs off on other
I
people.
hope so.
So I know who Emma is. Would
mhm.
you please let our moms know who is Emma?
Yes, yes. My name is Emma Davis, and I am the daughter of Katie May. I'm the granddaughter of Emma Clay, and I'm the great-granddaughter of Hattie. I am a Christian mother, grandmother.
Aw.
I'm a native Texan. I'm one of 8 children, the oldest, the bossiest, I'm sure they would say, and that's okay. I am a U.S. Air Force veteran. I am a retired educator, public school educator. I am co-partner in a business, and I also am CEO of a nonprofit. So just excited about life in general.
Oh.
Just hashtag retired again. Let me say that again. Hashtag happily retired. Thank you so much.
You know what?
So-
I did not know that you were an educator.
Yes, ma'am.
The other thing that I just found out today about you
Uh-huh.
is that you are the oldest of 8.
Yes.
I come from a family of 8.
Yeah.
I do. I am the 7th of 8 children.
Really?
Mhm.
That is, oh my God.
Yes.
Just divine.
Yeah,
right there,
divine.
right there.
Yeah,
It is.
divine
it is,
connection.
It is.
And so most of the people on my dad's side,
Mhm.
educators.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were meant to meet.
Yeah.
We were meant to meet.
Whenever
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was.
Yeah. Whenever that was.
That is wild. I knew you were in the
Really?
military. Veterans Day has just passed. So
Yes,
thank you for your
ma'am.
service.
Thank you.
And I was
appreciate
just
that.
telling you, my dad was in the Air Force. He was, I don't remember like the years or anything, but he was in Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah.
A war time.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it when there was no, the draft was in and those were major
Yeah.
times. Although we thank every veteran, those times were a lot different. So we thank him
Yes.
for his service.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm like, I'm
cute.
so excited for
That's
my
cute.
family to see this and be like, look, she has, she's a, the 8th, or not the 8th, but you're a sibling of 8s.
Yes. Big
But
family.
What I have observed about you is your consistency. And I am trying so hard to get there. When it comes to strength training, I am like programmed to have running like a part of my lifestyle. But when it comes to strength training, because I know that I need it to help like prevent injury and also help maintain that way, because I know cardio doesn't do all of that. consistency, I'm just like, okay, especially now that the weather is getting cooler.
Yeah.
And when it's warm, I'm like, okay, I get up in the morning, I go to CrossFit.
Good.
But when it's cold,
Yeah.
I'm like, snooze. Yeah.
We do.
What keeps you consistent? Because you are always moving.
I think I'm pretty much programmed like that. Coming from a large family, growing up, we had a chore list Monday through Sunday on a column on the refrigerator.
Oh, wow.
All the kids' names on it. And we knew what we were responsible for. I had dishes say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah.
I had vacuuming Tuesday and Thursday. We had laundry on Saturday. We had ironing on Saturday.
Wow.
You know, there were certain things that we had to do to keep the household in order.
Yeah.
We had so many routines that became consistent. Breakfast in the morning before school, you're done by 7 o'clock because you got to get to that bus stop. You have to,
Yeah.
get to school. Dinner at night, 6 o'clock, because we have to wash those dishes, clean up that kitchen, take that bath, get those clothes together. So growing up, naturally, that built a lot of routines and systems and procedures in my life. And then going straight into the military after that, go to work late and see what happens. Mess up a report and some military person doesn't get paid because I worked in accounting and finance, or some airplane part doesn't get ordered. You have to be about systems, procedures, routines, and then even coming into education as a teacher, you have to plan.
Yeah.
Because you have 180 plus days to get the student from this point to this point, and you have so much curriculum, you have to do it in chunks. And so you have to be consistent with how you're going to layer that. You're going to teach them their letters first,
Yeah.
then their 2-letter words, and then their syllables, and then their reading by this period. So just learning lots of systems and procedures. I've been like that all my life. And I love to-do lists. I like checking stuff off. I like highlighting it.
Yeah.
I like lining through it. I like for it to be on my page of that's done.
That's
I
good.
like to plan it, and then I like to do it, and then I like to see things done. So I think just being consistent. I'll put things on the calendar.
Yeah.
I'll put things on my phone. If it's things that I know I want to do, and I make myself, for the most part, not back down. And I like having accountability partners, like with our run groups. You say you're going to be there, somebody's looking for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me get up.
Yeah.
You know, you say you're going to take this trip and somebody's going to be your roommate. They're counting on you to take this trip. You know, you say you're going to do something for the family. They're counting on you to have dinner at your house, say for Thanksgiving or whatever.
Yeah.
So just having people in your life that help you be accountable, and then already having an inclination to want to do things and see things done, that's really how it helps me. It makes me feel good when I can look back and say I'm a person of my word to other people and to myself, because I'm like, it's okay to pat little Emma on the back and say you did good.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to keep going, and at the end you don't have those regrets like I wish I could have, should have, would have.
That's so good.
You don't have that.
Yeah.
So that consistent word is good to me.
Yeah.
It's a good word. It is a great word. I love it.
Creating routine and having accountability, that is so good, because if someone is, like you said, waiting on you, if you say, hey, I'm going to meet you for that morning run, and we know our morning runs are not 9 a.m.
Dark.
Yeah.
And cold.
Yes. So if someone is waiting for you at a certain amount of time, like you said, dark and cold, and you not show up, yeah.
What an offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
what a
that's so
letdown.
good, you know, a way to get started in being consistent and the routine. Like, I have a routine, but sometimes, like I said, I have a hard time being consistent, especially when it comes to strength training. But I do regret when I don't go. And so not having that regret of, you know, okay, I went.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I got it done. And
yes.
so all that.
And even when we have that disclaimer of not always going, the more often we go, the easier it is to build that in. When they talk about, you know, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
That's not always true, but it does make it more permanent with you, and building that habit of the 21 days or the 30 days or whatever it is that we need to do. Just practicing, trying to get started, and then you start to see those benefits of it. And then you kind of push yourself a little bit more. I did that for 7 days. Okay, let me go for 14. Now I've done 21. I've done 30. Oh, this is easy. This is good. You start seeing those benefits of whatever that consistency is with your health, with your finances, with your spiritual well-being, with your mental upgrades or whatever you're trying to take care of. So that consistency, it adds a lot. 80%, 90%, because we're not 100%, but
Right.
we're striving for that.
Yeah.
And so that makes a big difference.
You are helping me reframe. Like right now, I am sitting here thinking, and I just told some like every single time somebody gets on here, you all challenge me.
Okay, y'all. Everybody's listening.
I know.
Yes,
I know
yes.
it. That is why I ran a marathon.
All right.
I was challenged. But a few weeks
love it.
ago, you and I were talking,
Uh-huh.
and I mentioned how I would love to help the African American community understand the significance of taking care of our health. And I was doing some research, and we have the highest rate in obesity, strokes, and high blood pressure. And when I return to an active lifestyle, something I hear often when going to see a doctor is you have a strong heartbeat. I remember those words and like her, like, like you have a strong
Yes.
heartbeat. And I just love hearing that because it lets me know I'm doing something right.
A lot.
Yeah. And would you be willing to share some of the positive feedback you've heard medically because you've chosen this active lifestyle?
Definitely. I started really running late. I was always doing something,
Yeah.
some step or some jazzercise back in the day with Jane Fonda. I was always doing
Yes.
something in the military or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was not a runner per se. From high school, did a little bit, but then not until like in my 50s, started getting with run groups and running for causes like for kidney support or, certain types of cancer support and certain types of runs
Yeah.
like that. And then I started to enjoy it a little bit more. And then I started getting with some run groups that really run more consistently. And my doctors, when I go in, my mindset is by the time I go in, I have two spaces that I'm in. One is I go in and I know that I've done the best that I can do. I have no ailments, and I go in and I tell them, there's nothing wrong.
Oh, that's good.
You're not going to find anything wrong,
Yeah.
especially with the dentist. Clean my teeth and let me out of here. Don't go looking for problems because there are none. I'm out of here. I don't want to talk about anything negative.
Yeah.
I'll do that with my doctor for the annual exams. I don't have any aches. I have no pains.
Yeah.
And they just do their regular lab work, answer questions for you, and you're out of there. Or I go in if I have some issues because I know myself and I know consistently I'm able to get up, bounce out of bed. If I start having aches and pains, I'm like, oh, something is going on. Is it my back? Is it my knee? Is it my gut? Is it my head? What is it? And I'll go in, like most of us, I've done my WebMD, I've done my Google search,
Yeah.
I've asked my sister nurse,
Yeah.
and I'll go in and I'll have these questions, kind of like my own advocate, a little self-diagnosis. Could it be this? Could it be that? I need to rule some things out. But I know a little bit more about myself. And so I can share that with the doctor to
Yeah.
say, this is what I think it might be, or can you at least check on this? And when they come back, if I go in and I don't have any issues and they're saying, like you said, you have a strong heartbeat, your pulse is so steady, and my grandfather, passed in his 60s. You're not, you're in your 60s already and you don't have the same signs that he had. My mother had some thyroid problems and pre-diabetic. You're not dealing with those same things.
Yeah.
Grandmother, high blood pressure, dealing with, as they say, the sugar, diabetic
Yeah.
type situations, and just fighting against those types of things.
Yeah.
I'm walking against cancer. I'm fighting against all
Yeah.
these viruses that keep coming up where they want you to get a vaccination. And you're like, where did this come from? What is this?
Right. Yeah.
So just going into the doctor where they can say, we saw your vitamin D deficiency at this level. You're not dealing with that anymore. Or you were in osteopenia, but now it's stabilized because your vitamins are right where they need to be. Or your hormones were off and now they're back in sync. You can keep talking to me just like that. Just keep
Yeah.
talking to me. Keep telling me, that your health is so much more stable than what it was before. Or when they give you the statistics, well, degenerative this because of your age, but you're not dealing with that. Not that you're that much more healthier than others, but you're within a good range.
Yeah.
Or you're on the upper end of whatever that is. Or they tell you you have the heart of a someone that's younger than you, or you have the stamina of
Wow.
someone that's younger than you.
Yeah.
That says a lot,
It does.
and it just reinforces, I'm doing something right.
Yes.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to keep
Keep
taking
doing
those.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. I'm going to keep eating, better. My fiber's on point. I'm eating my fruits and vegetables, and it's paying off like
Yeah.
they said it was when I was a kid, and now I see the benefits of it. So I like hearing those reports, and I get my records too and say, did they document what they said to me,
Yeah.
so that I can go back and say, I'm doing all I can, because this temple, it's not meant to last forever,
Right.
and we know it won't.
Mhm.
It won't. But can we keep it in the best shape it can be in for as long as we can? Because that means a lot, especially as a mom.
Yeah.
We want to see our babies grow up.
Yes.
We want to see them have kids.
Yeah.
We want to see them go off to college, get their first jobs. There's so many things that we want to see and be around for. And we won't get to do that if we don't take care of ourselves right now,
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. I am praying, like, as you're talking to me, I'm like silently praying that more African American people will hear this and see what you just said about the reports, what your parents or your grandparents dealt with. You don't have that problem. Because I want those numbers to go down where we don't have the highest rate in strokes. I don't want any ethnic group to,
I know,
but it's been that way for a very long time, and obesity and high blood pressure, et cetera, et cetera. Because I was doing research and I was kind of getting a little upset and like saddened, because I was like, oh my gosh, like this and this and this. And so I was like, let's just minimize how much I say, because the numbers are just so high, and it's kind of heartbreaking. But what you're saying, like, other than just, of course, we feel good after we work out, there are medical benefits.
Absolutely.
And you can break generational curses.
Right now. Just start. Just start.
Yeah.
Just start. And when you think about our great-grandparents or family members in the 1800s or 1700s or whatever, not having access to maybe fruits and vegetables and things like we do, or, a great water supply system or medical expertise, research, all the things that they didn't have access to, and maybe why they suffered, versus now, just the advancements that we're making in getting rid of the food deserts and having, just opportunities to do all types of activities with exercise. We don't have to be out in the field. We can go running.
Yeah.
We can go walking. We can swim. We can kayak. We can hike. We just have so many opportunities to do things that we enjoy doing, and that's going to benefit us overall. So let's just start taking care of it and being educated and asking questions, and not being fearful of that, and not just taking what they say diagnosis for granted, but saying, no, I don't claim that. I'm not receiving that.
Right.
What else do we have? I'm fighting against that. No, I'm fighting against that. Okay, what else can I do? So I think we have a lot of opportunity now to be consistent with our health under that whole umbrella of physical health, spiritual health, mental health, financial health, relational health. It's all inclusive.
Yes.
It is all inclusive.
All
and I don't
connected.
think we paid attention to it like we could have historically.
Yeah.
But we've got to come around.
Yeah.
We got to come
I
around.
love it.
We
I
gotta
feel
come
like your
around.
mental game is so strong. Your positive outlook and encouragement. And when I have the chance to run with you, you're always so encouraging.
Thank you.
I remember one morning we were running a park, and again, dark early. And you were just like, oh, we've got it. Oh, we're going to keep going, And because I think I had maybe taken some time off or something. I don't remember. But I was like gradually getting back into it. And I remember telling you that, and you're like, okay, well, you're fine. We're at a good pace. And I was just like, in my mind, I'm thinking, she's just so uplifting and so.
And you just kept going. You sure did.
I'm going to fold you up and put you in my pocket.
Okay, pull me out when you need me.
Yeah. But what are some things you do or say to stay out of your head when things start to become hard? Because I need to know. Because mile 10 and a half and mile 20 in the marathon, I need the Emma.
I don't have a full answer, but I have some things that work in different situations for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do have to just break down and cry about whatever the situation is. I got to get that out of my system.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you just got to purge some things. And then I feel refreshed. It's like, okay, I'm done with that. That was for a minute. Now, let me go back to something good, something positive. So sometimes I do break at mile 20 and it's like, well, I'm going to walk 3 miles because that's what I need right now. Then maybe
Yeah.
I can start back up, whatever that mile 20 is in life. But sometimes when I'm struggling with things and I'll have to stop and say, okay, what happened? Was there something that I was doing that I wasn't supposed to do? Was there something that I wasn't doing that I was supposed to do? You know, just trying to figure out what happened and really doing some mental digging and trying to figure what that is. And because oftentimes I have to think through it by myself, I will distance myself. I call myself an introvert growing up, but I think I'm ambivert in that I can be with people, but then I need time alone.
Right.
So sometimes I'll distance myself, and that's when I'll do my Sabbath and I'll be true to it. I'm going to church. I'm coming home. I'm not going to be on social media. I'm not going to watch, TV. I'm going to do some devotional.
Yeah.
It's a self-care day. Just kind of being at home and just trying to figure out what has gone on this past week or 2 weeks that has me feeling kind of out of sorts. Was it physical? Was it lack of sleep? Was it I need to talk to my therapist? Was it my finances are all out of whack? What is going on with me? So I'll have to do that. Other times I will get up and it's like nature. Go on a walk, start taking pictures, looking for a new run route, trying to get off in a race and get that energy from all the runners. Because, if somebody's running fast, you're trying to keep up with them or whatever the case is. Do I need that kind of motivation or that kind of kick? Or do I need to do something different? Let me try Zumba. I ain't done that in a long time, Or let me go out here for this baby hike because I haven't, done that in a long time. Trying to see what is it that's going to spark me to do to kind of come out of that dark place.
Okay.
And then I will go back to some of my routines. Set your alarm. You've not run in 2 days. Set your alarm for tomorrow. You're going to get up and go running tomorrow. It'll be slow, but your goal is to start.
Yeah.
And then the day after that, your goal is to keep going for a mile, 2 miles. And then your goal after that is get back off into your routine. So I will put myself on the clock and say, you just can't stop. There's something else that you have to do. And I'll use that terminology, which is probably not the best for little Emma, where I say, you have to do this. You got to do this.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll do that. And when I put the alarm clock on, I don't hit snooze anymore. I try not to procrastinate. If I don't want to do it, I've gotten to a better phase where I'll just say, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like that. That doesn't bring me joy.
Yeah.
Don't keep vacillating around the subject like I'm gonna make myself like it. No, you're not. You've never liked that. So just say no and then release yourself from that bondage of trying to people please or trying to do something that you don't want to do, trying to keep up.
Yeah.
I'll just say no. And then I can fill that space with something that I really want to do. So it's kind of like keeping things out of the way, especially as we get older. We find that when you think I have more summers in the past than I do in the future, I'm not wasting summers. I want to go on vacation. I'm not wasting summers. I want to do a certain race. I'm not wasting summers. I want to go to a certain concert. You just stop and think, I have to get out of this negative mindset because there's too many things that I still have left to do. There's too many things that I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to see again my daughter, my granddaughter, other kids.
Yeah.
I want to see my community thrive. I want to be in this position where my business is flourishing. I want to touch people that, that I'm purpose for certain things. So when I'll be down for a minute or two, but not long. I mean, I want to track. I was down for 2 days. I'm up for 29. I was down for 1. I'm up for 557 because I think everyone has those cycles that we go through where you're on the mountain, you're in the valley.
Yeah.
And that's kind of to be expected. But I try to make myself accountable all over again by talking through it, walking through it, doing my meditation, trying to do a little yoga because the body movement, some type of dance, music, a comedy show, something to make me laugh. I don't watch crazy movies at night because that gets in my head. If it's something scary or something that's really making me not sleep because I'm trying to figure out the problem. Something lighthearted, something easy. Waking up in the morning, I know mornings is my best time. Get up in the morning, I got a list of stuff I need to do before noon. Wow. Like in the military, we do more before such and such get up. I'm still in that mindset. I want to get up and get a lot of things done. So I try to make myself still be consistent and not stay off in whatever that negative was. looking for
Yeah.
resolutions, looking for answers, looking for ways to, again, be up because you never know who you're going to influence, with the positive post, with the positive word. So me
Mhm.
being down does nobody any good.
Man, that's so good.
And I know
Yeah.
misery loves company, but so does good news,
Y-
so does
Oh,
joy, so
yeah.
does laughter. So
Absolutely.
you
And
pass
so
that on.
when you said you don't hit the alarm, and sometimes life, we have those
Mm-hmm.
seasons
Mm-hmm. There are
where,
seasons.
things are just off sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that we do, though,
Mm-hmm.
when life is off, we put our health on the back burner.
We do.
And I mean, I've even done it where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is a not so great week, so I'm going to skip this or I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to skip this, and then by the end of the week, I'm feeling like
Mm-hmm.
miserable.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you share with us how our health
Mm-hmm.
is just as important and
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be placed on the shelf when things are off sequence? Like it needs to be a part of our lifestyle, like drinking water.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As moms, because we are responsible for so many things and so many people, we'll think, I won't let my job fall apart because that's the way that I feed my family. Provide shelter, clothing, a means of everything. We don't want our finances to fall out of whack because we have to pay for things. We don't
Yeah.
want our relationships to fall apart because we value our friends and our family. We don't want our spiritual life to fall apart because we know that God has a purpose for us. When we allow our health to fall, it's like we're supposed to put, excuse me for being too biblical, but we're
No,
putting
no.
God first.
Yeah.
And then he says you're taking care of others as you would yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So God is first and then we're next. And then we're prepared to take care of everybody else. And so we hear it easily on airplanes. Put your own mask on
Yeah.
and then take care of your child or whoever's next to you. We hear it easily when we're thinking of, just people that depend on us. Our kids, as a mom, that is such a role that not anybody can feel.
Right.
The title, the name is not so much the biggest piece because mom, stepmom, grandmother, auntie in charge, all of them, the title may be different, but the role of that primary caregiver as a mom is so important. And when we don't replenish ourselves so that we can pour from this vessel into someone else, we have nothing. You're pulling out dust and air and fog and just
Leftovers.
leftover. It's
Yeah.
no good. You can't pour into anybody with quality if you don't even have it in yourself. So when your health falls apart and you start to struggle and suffer in how you think, because that's a part of our health, the mentalness,
Yeah.
and you're thinking about what you say, maybe you're sharp, you're sarcastic, you're bitter, you're
Yeah.
angry, you don't speak, your words are not choice words, and then your actions, they mimic what you're thinking and what you're saying. You're pouring that out, and then the closest people are getting it, which is your kids, which is your spouse, which is your siblings, people that live closest to you. You are doing so much damage. And when your health is not at its best, on its way to being better, you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
feel
yeah.
it from head to toe, and it can sour your whole personality, your whole
Mm-hmm.
demeanor. So if you are taking medications that you really don't want to take, don't need to take, but you've not done what you needed to do, you don't feel good about that.
Yeah.
If you are not getting the sleep and rest that you need to so that you can get up with that energy and be ready to go and vivacious and energetic and, on the go, whatever your kids do, you do. They're in soccer, you're in soccer. They're in dance, they're in debate, you're in that. If you're not up to speed for that, you are missing out on so many things. Your joy is really low. And then your kids are going to feel that as well.
Yeah.
You love for them to say, my mom came to all my debates. My mom was at all of my games.
Yeah.
She went to my recitals. I could go to my mom as a 25-year-old and she's able to give me advice because she's lived through all of these things and she's still doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we just really have to stop and think about not only ourselves, but that legacy that we're leaving behind besides the house or the
Yeah.
car or the land or the trust or whatever the funds are. What are we telling our kids with the way we live? How important am I to me, to you? How do I really value myself? I say I do, but I don't look like I do.
Yeah.
I'm not taking care of myself. I'm looking raggedy. I'm looking haggard. I'm looking worn out. Like they say,
Mm-hmm.
rode hard and put away wet. We don't want to look like that. We don't want to be like that. We
Yeah.
want to be filled with joy from the inside out. You want to be able to smile and laugh and do all the things that you need to do. We have to find that balance.
Mm.
When we're over in one area and under in another, that seesaw, that's not good in life. It's good on the playground
Yeah.
because you're up and they're up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then you're
yeah.
down. But in life, we don't want to live life like that.
Mm.
And everything can't always be at
For
100%.
sure.
But it can be close, especially the things that matter the most.
Mm-hmm.
They matter the most. Say your finances, you're trying to pay bills. What might you have to pay first? You might have to pay your mortgage first because you have to have a place to live. You
Right.
might have to pay your car second because you got to have transportation to get to and from work. You have to get groceries because you have to eat. Some of that other stuff, you may be able to finagle a little bit. I'll pay on this credit card. I'll pay on this small debt or whatever, and you can play with those. Our health, we cannot play with because it's going to come back and get us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's down the road where they're like, this is going to be a chronic issue for you in 20 years. You're like, right
Wow.
now, I can eat all the pork I want to, all the sodium I want to, all the snacks and sweets, and you don't get the negative benefits, effects of it. But in 20 years, you will.
Mm.
Same thing with sleep and rest and exercise. We can start to see those benefits now, but we're really going to see it after so many months, after so many years. We're going to incrementally deposit into that health bank
Yeah.
and just reap rewards that we didn't even know we would reap. I want to be that 75-year-old runner,
Yeah.
dancer,
Yeah. You
82-year-old
will.
walker,
Yeah.
and I think most of us want that.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to start now.
Yeah.
And we can't put it off. January 1st, don't put that off till January 1st.
No.
If you can't start today because it's later in the day, you start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Walking 15 minutes out,
Yep.
like one of the groups says, and 15 minutes back. Stretching 15 minutes at night, 15 minutes in the morning.
Mm.
Cutting sodas out of your diet or
Yeah.
whatever your snack is that you know is not beneficial for you. So simple things like that can become consistent over time, and then we can see it in our health because we're supposed to be here for our kids. We want to see what they're going to do in 5 years. And if we're not here, we don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 years, if we're not here, we don't see it.
Yeah.
Or if we're in bad health, you can't enjoy it.
Right. That's so true.
Mm-mm.
You're
You just cannot
that's
enjoy
so true.
it.
Yeah.
And that would be very devastating for us. And I wish I could have, should have, would have, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's too late. So why are we waiting?
Mm-hmm.
And we do sacrifice ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
We do.
It's true. I remember I was I was watching a YouTube video and I was working out along with this personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And she said exactly what she probably almost verbatim, just like, you don't have to sacrifice your health
Mm-mm.
when things start to become busy in life. She's like, the first thing that we do, we don't sacrifice television.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
The first thing that we do is okay, I don't need to exercise. I can't exercise this morning. And I'm not saying there aren't days where we have to, where we
Yeah,
can't,
right.
but those days eventually become weeks
They do.
and so on, so on.
It becomes very easy.
Mm-hmm.
And we do know probably some ladies in our lives that go consistently to get their nails done.
Right.
Or guys go consistently to get their car washed and buffed. Or, certain things that we consistently do. And it's not every day, but it's consistent.
Yeah.
And our health should be the same way. Like you said, every day we might not work out, but we will commit instead of 5 days, at least 3 days
Yeah.
a week. Doing something 3 days
Yeah.
a week. And if I miss a week because I'm sick, with whatever illness is going on, that's
Yeah.
understandable. And you get back up and you're like, I got to start all over again.
Yeah.
But you don't let yourself get into the habit of being comfortable with not doing it at all
Mm-hmm.
because that becomes very easy.
Oh, yeah.
Very easy.
And I like what you said. You said God first. And I think about that scripture often because I can get into the habit of just going out, like wake up, okay, going out and doing my run.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that scripture, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things will follow. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Okay, let me wake up 30 minutes early to seek and,
Mm-hmm.
have my devotion time. Because when I do have those times alone with him and I invite him on those runs with me,
Mm-hmm.
or I invite him to go work out with me, whatever, avenue of being active that it looks like for that day, it's just so much better.
It is.
because he's right there alongside you. And even the atmosphere changes
It does.
because you've invited him along. And yes, he's always around us,
Mhm.
but he wants to go. He wants to
Mhm.
play. I always
Mhm.
have this saying that Jesus is a lot of fun. You know,
Ah,
we make him so
we
serious,
do.
and he's
Yeah.
really a lot of
A lot of
fun. And
fun.
he wants to,
I love it.
go. This morning when we were running,
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I could just feel him in the atmosphere. And I'm
beautiful.
just like, I was just thanking him because, like you mentioned earlier, it's a gift.
It is. It is.
And I often think about people, not even like outside of like in third world countries or anything like
Mhm.
that, but even
Right here.
next door neighbor,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
they can't run, they can't walk because of
Oh.
physical,
Mhm. Mhm.
issues, whatever, or life.
Mhm.
And so I'm just like, every single time that I think about it when I'm running,
Mhm.
especially when it's cold, because that's my favorite season to run.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm just like, thank you, Lord, that I
Yeah.
have this gift. Like,
It
I get to
is.
wake up. I have a husband who says go, and I'll watch the
Yes.
little one.
Yes.
Or, I have a mom who'll come and,
Mhm.
help me out because she knows that I enjoy running.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just so, so grateful for the gift. And you're reminding me, because like I said, I'm often like, okay, alarm clock off, go.
Mhm.
But I need to set my alarm a few minutes ahead just to have that alone time with him and invite him with me. I heard a few weeks ago our speaker say that once we have it together here,
Uh-huh.
it becomes evident here.
I can
How
believe
has
that.
consistency affected your mental and physical?
Mhm. I believe that consistency really keeps me more focused.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of my key words, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, just trying to be more focused because I have, according to my family, I have this kind of willy nilly going on sometimes. It's
Okay.
like, real, not, it's a little bit impulsive sometimes. If somebody asks me something, it's like, you can't say no, Emma, you have to go along,
Okay.
and so they kind of think of me in that way. So I think with consistency, I'll try to keep a couple of areas as the key areas. And so when you talked about like getting up in the morning, I do that too. I have a gratitude journal. And when I get up, first of all, I'm stretching because these joints need to be warmed up a little bit and put
Okay.
in motion.
Yeah.
But before I leave the house, I do write in that journal at least one page. It may be more than that, but I'll take a word. And I got this from a pastor off of TV. And I'll take a word and I'll just focus on that word. And it might be protection. And I'm talking about all the ways that I thank God for protecting me. Or it might be reciprocity, all the ways that, he just continues to bless me or whatever the word is. And so I'll
Right.
think about that. So when I think about just that consistency and how the mental all plays into place, it makes me feel so much more grateful for where I am now.
Yeah.
I remember certain phases in my life, like when I was 16 or 21 or 25. Some of those years are all a blur because they kind of ran together. And I
Right.
knew I was just working. I was grinding, trying to make, rank or trying to get certain places in my career and just trying to take care of life as it came on.
Mm-hmm.
But when I stop and think about it, it's like, I'm here today. OMG. This is so good to me.
Yeah.
I remember my granddad in the 60s walking with a cane and, just looking so much older than he was
Okay.
because life had been, I think really taking a toll on him. And it's like, I'm not even there.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
just like you said, just so much to be grateful for. And not only in the physical, but in the mental, a lot wiser, able to discern more now, having knowledge that I can actually use and share with other people.
Yeah.
And then being in a financial place where things are paid for, nobody's knocking on my door. There's no pink slips. It's not like somebody's going to come and get me a loan shark or I owe, just anything crazy. So just trying to take care of the financial and the mental aspect of what that means with the freedom.
Yeah.
Thinking of the spiritual freedom, the Holy Spirit right here, right now, guiding me, talking me through it. Just like you said, you invite Jesus in and he's going to come in and help you with all of these things and make it make sense. And then the relationships, not having a million friends, but having good associates,
So good.
having really tight sister
Yeah.
friends and being able to get along with people, having decent boundaries, feeling valued and value added in what I do. So that consistency and all of that mental and that health piece, it is all just kind of interwoven. It's all interwoven. And sometimes there are some imbalances, but you try to get back up on that and push it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
You just try to think about what else can I do that's going to make sense again and be more just balanced. I know that's a big word and it's a little word at the same time, and it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it can be done.
It can be done.
Especially when you stop and you do a self-assessment. Now, again, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
I love
didn't
it.
do something. Or
Yeah.
I did do something I wasn't supposed to. Okay, so what are we going to do differently?
Yeah.
Because we have the answers with us and God. We have the answers. We don't even have to wait on somebody to tell us. We can go to them and they can kind of confirm some things with us. But most of the time, if we sit back and think about it, we can figure out a lot. We can figure out a lot. Why is this happening? Because I didn't do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? Because I did do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And just what can I do that's going to make it better?
Wow.
know?
So good. I'm just like, just taking it all in.
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Wow. Thank you. That's so good.
Yeah.
What are some joys you have
Mhm.
found in
Mhm.
being consistent?
Oh my God. The joy that I feel like I can count on myself. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because I know a lot of us have some concerns with self-confidence and,
Yeah.
you know, just knowing that not to be boastful or bragging, but just,
Yeah.
you know, knowing your self-worth and your self-value and saying, you know, I'm good.
Mhm.
I am so good. I am chosen.
Yeah.
I am uniquely made. You know, there's so many things that are special about me, and I need to embrace those things and move on with that. So when you have that inner joy, you can feel sad because maybe you were left out of this event, or you didn't get to participate in this, or you fell short on some goal that you set, but you've made it further along than you would have had you not started. And I think that that's key with a lot of us, just getting started.
Yeah.
So that inner joy of having that peace and that mindset about, because I'm a checklist person,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do it. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
Mhm.
Okay, what does that look like? Am I setting a SMART goal? Is it specific? Is it measurable? Can I time it? Is it achieved? What am I thinking about? Is it a SMART goal? I'm doing it. Oh my God, this is amazing. I am running in Kansas. Oh my God,
Yeah.
can you believe it? I'm running.
Yeah.
And then when you're finished, you're like, I came from planning it and thinking about it to doing it to it is so done.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is so done.
Mhm.
And when you get to that phase of whatever that is that you're taking care of with your health or your spiritual growth
Mhm.
or your mental well-being, and you're like, oh my God, he is so good. He
Yeah.
brought me through that. And he was with me the whole way.
Yeah.
He was with me the whole way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was easy and sometimes it wasn't, but it
Mhm.
was still done.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. So I love, that's another thing done
Yeah.
in my gratitude journal. And then I keep a running journal. So it's in my running journal.
Oh, I
If I
love
did a
it.
race, you
Yeah.
know, it's in my bills journal because I got a bill journal. So journals for days. I don't know. There's a commercial on TV where a college student was talking about he has all these journals. And I was like, that's me. But it is documented. So if I
Yeah.
forget, I'll open those journals back up and I start looking at my gratitude journal.
Oh.
It'll bring tears. You know, because you're just
Yeah.
thinking, oh my God, you brought me through that. Or the financial goals journal. My sister started us doing this a few years back, thinking about what we wanted to accomplish within a year.
Mhm.
And then seeing at the end of that year what was done.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought it was going to take me 12 months. It took me 3.
Wow, come
I'm doing
on.
a dance.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Oh my God. That's when you know it's not just you. That's when you know it's not you.
Right.
But that consistency, you put one foot, he's going to tell you the next step. And then you start to see, oh, this is all working out for my good and his glory.
Yeah.
You will find another goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said all I got to do is ask.
Yeah. And you shall receive. Yep.
Then I'm going to find some other goals and we're going to keep going.
That's
So that kind of
yeah.
inner joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I what you're saying, like when you said I'm running in Kansas, and
Mhm.
you were able to because you were consistent with taking care of your health, taking care of yourself, and doing the workouts. We went to Mexico last year,
Uh-huh.
and they did a 5K run for the cure 5K,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't a lot of people there. It was myself, and it was on a resort, so
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it was myself and 3 of the staff members, and I was nervous.
What?
I mean, I'm running it in a
Another
different country, and I was like, okay, you can do this.
You
You're gonna
can.
do this. You're gonna.
Uh-huh.
And girl, my elbows were sweating. I was so nervous, but the entire time, and I'm not saying it was easy because it wasn't, because there were
Okay.
some heels in there.
Oh,
Heels.
goodness. Brand new heels.
I know, but we when we started, like I said, my elbows are sweating and I'm freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to keep up with 3 guys.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. And so we had to do one of those races where you run past the finish line.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, you have to switch your mindset.
You do.
And I was just, after we finished, I was
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Hug yourself.
But
Love on
gratitude,
yourself.
you because I
Yeah.
do remember asking the Lord to go with me on that run because
Yeah.
homegirl was scared.
Wow.
But I was just like, oh my gosh, I
Mhm.
did
You did.
this.
Mhm.
And consistency,
Yeah,
you know?
that's it. That's it. And
Consist-
now you have a permanent memory.
Yeah.
No one can take that from you.
Mm-mm.
No one can take that from you. Like when you think of getting a degree, a certificate, you go to those classes,
Yeah.
you're consistent with that. They say you need 120 hours. You start off with 3 hours. You're like, oh my God, I'm never going to get there. Every semester, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, 60 hours, 72 hours. Then you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And before you know
Yeah.
it, you got the cap and that gown on, you walking across. Financial savings, putting away. Next thing you know, you're paying bills off. You got a fat savings account. You got your trust going
Yeah.
for your babies. You doing travels. You spending on whatever you need to spend on and still have investments. I mean, we can look at that health.
Yeah.
Start off walking. Before you know it, you're running 26.2 miles. And you still live to tell about it afterwards.
Yeah.
You're still able to keep going. And you might be like, I'm not going to do it again, but I did that. You know
Yeah.
how small a percentage that is of people that do that?
Yeah.
But you
Yep.
put the work in.
Mhm.
And you put it in beforehand.
Yeah.
Over a long period of time.
Yes.
Because that type of training, it takes, oh God,
Whew.
endurance. It takes a lot
Yeah, it
of
does.
consistency.
It does.
So anything in our life, we're trying to make it better. We have to come up with the recipe that we need that's going to make that better. Just practicing. Does this need another spice in this meal?
Yeah.
What do I have to do when I'm trying to fix this special meal? I want to be a special chef. I got to practice. I want to be a special barber. I have to practice.
Yeah.
I want to be a master biomedical engineer. I have to do certain things. Whatever we really think is important and we value, we have to be consistent with it. And because we want to be the best moms ever,
Yeah.
we have to work at some things.
Yeah.
And a lot, that's work that we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's work we have to do. Nobody else can come off in here and make us be our best health.
Yeah.
They can train us, but we still have to do the push-ups and the running and the jumping. They can tell us what to do that's supposed to work. The doctor can tell us what medications to take to get this lowered or what foods to eat, but we have to do the
We
work.
have to do the work,
We
right.
have to put in the work. So
Mhm.
when they say trust the process, trust it. That's it. It is a process.
It is.
Mhm.
And trust the process, and
Mhm.
it's not about the finish line.
It's not. It's not.
It's not.
It's that journey.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that journey.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
more than anything, since the marathon is over,
Uh-huh.
you know what I think about often?
What?
The training.
Ooh.
I think about the training. I don't often think about
Mm-hmm.
the marathon itself. Now, I do think about it sometimes, but I'm
Mhm.
often thinking about
Mhm.
I had to do 15 miles on the treadmill.
Yes.
I had to schedule this around my daughter's schedule.
Yeah.
I had to do this because my husband, I had to do these certain amounts
Mhm.
on this day because
Mhm.
my husband had to be at work,
Mm-hmm. That's how it worked. Mm-hmm.
and I got there.
And you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like you
Yeah.
said, it's about the journey.
it is. It
And
is.
it's so funny. And I'm thinking, because I'm like, I don't often think about the marathon,
Uh-huh.
It's like everything that got me there.
Yes. Yes. And you knew you were going to get there too because you were putting in the work.
Yeah.
And you kept on with your plan. My plan says 3 miles. I got 3. It
Yeah.
says 6. Okay, now we're building up to 9. Now I'm doing 20. Oh my goodness. And before, when you first started, you probably thought, I don't even want to think that far down the road. I can't see me getting there.
Yeah.
But as time comes and you feel compelled to keep on and keep on and keep on because you've made it. And it's like, I can walk those last 3 miles. If you get me to this one,
Yeah.
I can walk those last 6 miles. You just think, get me here, get me there. You
Yeah.
can do the rest. So it's like that in life. You consistent with it and you know yourself and you see the value in it, then you will put in the work. So as moms, we have to see the value in what we bring to the family, to the job, to the neighborhood, to the church ministry,
Yeah.
to whatever. But moms is a role that we have to take most seriously because we are our kids' number one advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And when kids know that you will go to the moon and back for them, oh baby.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you have a legacy. You have a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have something that it just cannot be touched.
Yeah.
That inner joy of, I'm a good mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I'm going to be here. I am here right now. What can I do with this time?
Yeah.
Nobody can take that from you. They cannot take,
Wow.
they just can't touch that.
I love the
So-
word legacy because I'm changing how
Yes.
I saw my parents
Yes.
take care of their health.
Yes.
And so Ava's saying, okay,
Mhm.
I
How you
always
doing
talk
it?
about how when I'm running
Uh-huh.
on the treadmill anyway,
Uh-huh.
she can hear me.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I can't stop, because if she's in therapy,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Ava,
Mhm.
you're going to be on your stomach such and such time. And if she wants to give up, yeah, you understand? Yeah, so yeah.
That's not what we do.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And
We
so,
come from a different cloth.
yeah. So I want her to know, okay, I can be on my stomach 15 more seconds. I can do these stretches or be in my standard
Absolutely.
however many more minutes, because I heard mommy
Mhm.
pushing
Mhm.
on the treadmill when it was getting rough.
Yes. That
And
is
and
so
if I
amazing.
need to scale back, she can scale back, but we don't
Mhm.
stop.
Exactly. That's such a strong message. It is. And you're teaching it by example. You're not just telling your words, do what I say.
Right.
You're like, look, this is what we do.
Do. Yeah.
This is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We get up, we go to church on Sundays, we go to school when we have to go to school, we do our therapy when we need to, we work out when we need to, we save over here,
Yeah.
we clean up over here. There's so many consistent things that we can build into our lives for our kids as moms that they will keep doing out of habit.
Yeah.
And then they'll see the benefits later on, or they may already see the benefits and just know this is what we do and this is why we do it. As they start
Right.
to understand and process it, they'll understand this is why we do it. So
Mm.
moms, we have a lot of control, a lot of responsibility, a lot of authority,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of purpose. We have a lot of purpose,
Mhm.
and that's not a burden. Like you said, we get to do this.
Yeah.
This is a joy.
It is. Yeah.
This is a joy, and
Mhm.
we have to treat it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to treat it like
Man,
that.
so good. What inspirational or encouraging word would you give to a mom who is on the struggle bus
Mhm.
with being consistent?
I would say at some point soon, like ASAP,
Yeah.
sit down with yourself
Yeah.
in a quiet space and really think about, are you in the place that you want to be? And your answer is going to be no, because you already recognize that you're struggling. And think about what areas you're struggling in. If it's the physical level, the physical area, you can easily start with that stretching,
Mm.
that meditation, that thankfulness, that walk around the block, that taking the steps at work instead of the elevator, that
That's good.
getting fresh air. Think about what it is, where you're trying to go. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to get off certain medications? You're right on the border of a certain illness or whatever. You're trying to get off that medication. You're trying to avoid something.
Yeah.
You're trying to get rid of an illness or a disease. What is it that you know that you can do, but you haven't done it?
Mm.
And then think of how you need to get started on that. And just take 1, 2, or 3 steps. Don't have to be a whole 59 steps, because we're not going to get through that. Don't
Right.
think to the very end, like you said, of the 26.2. Think about the 3. Think about the first step and then the second step. And put yourself on the clock and say, I'm going to try this
Yeah.
for a certain number of days. I would say 30 days just because I like that number.
Yeah.
But if you go for 7 days, that's completion. 7 is the number of completion.
yeah.
You finish that 7 days, you go to day 8. That's a new beginning.
Yeah.
Then you go into 14 days.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to self-assess, reassess. Then you go into that 15th day and give yourself some windows of time. Don't quit
Yeah.
within that window. Don't change within that window. But at the end of that window, assess, how beneficial was this?
Mm.
If you were working out, was that the type of workout that you really enjoy? Or is running hard on your knees? Do you need to go to biking? Do you like to swim? Start swimming. Think about what else you can do where you're going to get the benefits of a healthy routine, but in a different way.
Mm.
Whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
reassess it at the end with in mind that you're still going to do something else, even if it's not that activity. So I would say self-assess in your quiet time by yourself and be honest with yourself. Don't sugarcoat it. I'm just a
Yeah.
procrastinator. I just don't want to do it. I'm just lazy. I don't like it. And you don't have to be brutal with yourself, but be honest with yourself and be transparent. And then I would ask them, if you can, to write it down so you can come back to that after the end of your assessment period and say, this may have been the way I was feeling at first. This is what I said I was going to do. Now I'm coming back again to what I did do and how I feel about it. And then see what's the next step that you can take. I would say definitely pray about it.
Yeah.
Because we are going to need some help outside of just ourselves, because we get to that low point where it's like, this is not working. I'm just in a vicious cycle.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere. But thinking I've made more progress than I did when I wasn't doing anything. If you can find an accountability partner, somebody that's going to be honest with you, but again, not brutal, but just say, you said we were going to run Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to come get you Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for you Tuesday, Thursday. We're going to hike every Saturday. Somebody that's going to help you remember your word. Come on now.
That's
And encourage you and talk you into it and not beat you up about it, but just remind you, but you said, put your words back on you.
Yeah.
Like we do with God. You promise.
Yeah.
You promise.
Yeah.
You know, and not feel bad when they put that back on you. And then again, at the end, come back and say what you did and try to keep going into that. And then think about, why am I doing this? It is for me.
Yeah.
But I'm here as a mom too. So I have that domino effect. And it's not just about me. Your spouse is grown. They're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Your ministry at the church.
Yeah.
You got multiple people.
They'll be fine.
They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
On the job, whatever you're a teacher, you absent, they're going to get a substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Your position can be filled in those arenas.
Yeah.
But your role as that caregiver, as that mom, a lot of times it cannot be filled the way that you feel it.
Say it.
And so you have to be the one that does the work to put that consistency in, to make sure you're on the struggle bus today, but you're not staying there. That's not your place. That's not where you're supposed to be. And think, what can I do to get out of this? And then do it.
Yeah.
Stop just talking about it. We just waste so much time talking in circles and just do something.
Yeah.
Do something. And then you'll start to see after 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, what a difference it makes. And just start celebrating yourself. And at the end of that time, you're like, I'm going to get a pedicure.
Yeah.
Because I was running on these feet this
Yeah.
last week,
Yeah, yeah.
or, I stopped eating all those sweets. So now I'm going to go get me a nutritional,
Yes.
whatever that is,
Yeah.
smoothie or fruit, whatever it is. You find some ways to reward yourself. Like you do with kids when they've done a really good job. You want to give them some reward so they know I did good and I can keep going.
Yeah.
I think that's important too. You applaud yourself. You got to give yourself credit too. And again, you're not boasting and bragging. You're just saying, I said I was going to do this and I did do it.
Yeah.
And I feel good about it. And tell somebody.
Yeah.
Tell somebody so
Yeah.
they can brag on you too. And they'll be saying, oh, you know what? I can see you are looking brighter. You're lighter. You're looking good. You're sounding better.
Yeah.
You have a lot more energy. You're a lot more outgoing. All those things are taken care of, and I can see it in your whole demeanor. It just starts to show, and you feel even better about that, because then, people start to notice it. You're already feeling it. Just with your kids, it just, and they can't use the words that say mom is feeling bad or mom is feeling good, but they'll be able to see it and jump in on that too.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I feel like this was not just for people watching. This is
Oh.
for me too. Oh my goodness.
Glean something, whatever you can use.
Yeah.
Use, and,
And see, I have the advantage because I can rewatch this
oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
as many times as I want
You
before it's put
can.
out there.
You can edit.
Yeah.
You're the editor.
No,
You can
I
edit
love it. Emma, this has been so rich.
I've enjoyed
So
you.
rich.
Oh,
Thank you,
I
thank you,
hope so.
thank you. Okay, I do this thing where I have this thing called fun questions.
Okay.
And I ask
I'm on the hot seat, y'all. I'm on the
No,
hot
no.
seat. Let me get some water.
No,
Mhm,
it's just questions about like fun things that you like to do.
Okay,
And
okay.
since this is Christmas,
Mhm. Okay.
what's one of your favorite
Mhm.
Christmas songs?
Anything by any R&B group.
Okay.
I will just listen to them roll through. I don't know that I have a favorite.
Yeah.
I'll say I don't have a favorite because I just like the whole genre of it.
Yeah.
It can be something older by Aretha Franklin. It can be something new by Beyonce. I don't have a favorite because
Yeah.
they redo Silent Night 20 different ways.
You're right. Yeah.
I love the soulful voices, of a Marvin Gaye or a Sam Cooke or
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding.
I love
Oh my
me some
God.
Otis Redding.
All of that. I
Yeah.
love that richness in their voices.
Yeah.
But I'll listen to a Patti LaBelle just as easily as I will a Gladys Knight or whomever. So,
Yeah.
and I'll just let those play in the background and I could just maneuver around the house for hours.
Yeah.
So anything like that kind of keeps me going. I don't have a favorite.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I do have a favorite.
What's that?
But she's like, what's that?
Yeah.
I like the wooden soldiers. The toy shop store is locked up tight. I don't know why I love that song.
It's energetic. It's peppy. That's good.
But I do love me some Otis Redding.
Okay.
Listen,
okay.
I was listening to him before you came. I was like, hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. I
Yes,
love me some Otis Redding.
That is good. And they're good, wholesome songs.
Yeah.
The whole family can sing along.
Yes.
So that's good. I like that.
Dessert. What's your favorite Christmas go-to treat?
Ooh, I love basic cakes. Any type of cake. It doesn't have to have, it can be a basic lemon cake, pound cake, upside down. I don't have to have specific double chocolate, red velvet. I like cobblers. I like sweet potato pie.
Ooh.
So again, no favorites because I eat them all. I have no food allergies. So there's very little that you can put in front of me that I won't at least try.
Yeah.
I'm not a spice person, but I
Okay.
like flavors. But as far as desserts, I mean, any kind of lemon meringue, it doesn't matter. Pecan, more pecans the better. I eat them all. I do. I'm not a pumpkin person.
Oh, no.
I'm a sweet potato person.
Okay.
But I do like pies and cakes and cobblers.
Cookies.
Probably for you, it's mostly
Yeah,
cookies.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's so funny, though, because people, I'm not a sweet potato person or a pumpkin person.
Okay.
And people are
That's
like,
okay.
how do you not like the holiday go-to treat?
okay.
I'm like, I just
It's
don't care for
okay.
it.
It's okay. You like what you like.
Yeah. But before we go, Emma,
Mm-hmm.
can you talk to that camera, and that camera, and tell them about your organization?
Yes. My organization is Chosen to Outreach, and it is an organization that helps women that may be leaving home for the first time out of high school or college, or ladies that are divorced, separated, or widowed. And I try to provide household items for them for the kitchen, the bedroom, and the bathroom. So it may be dishes, pots and pans, things that they need in the kitchen towels. It may be items for the bedroom like linen, comforter sets, quilt sets, or it may be things for the bathroom like towels or hygiene items. So basically, these items are donated into me, and I'm the middle person, and I will give those back to ladies that contact me and need them. So they are slightly owned, previously owned or slightly used, but they are in good condition. And so I'll transfer those to those ladies that want them if they accept them. Every now and then we get some new items and I'll transfer those. But it's just a pleasure trying to give those things back to ladies that are willing to accept those things. And it just warms my heart. People call me in with donations, and they are some great donations. Believe me, even this morning I got some.
Awesome.
And then I try to give them out as soon as I can because my inventory is at my house. I have a separate inventory shed just for Chosen to. And so I try to give those things back out as soon as I can. So family and friends, they donate items. They help me buy some cooking items and give those things back out. And I love it. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You said Chosen 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Chosen, the number 2?
It's CHOZN, the number 2, and then outreach.
Okay, is there a website?
There is. It's under chosen2outreach.com. And you can reach me at my phone number is 469-298-9035. And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, although I do Facebook more.
Okay, and where can they find you on Facebook?
On Facebook, it's also under chosen2outreach.com. Chosen2outreach is the Facebook, or my personal page is Emma Davis.
Emma, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wanted every once in a while I'm doing the questions, I'll ask Holy Spirit for a scripture
Okay.
for my guests. And the one that I got was Galatians 6:9.
Okay.
And I'm going to read this. So I'm like, I don't want you to think that I'm not looking at
Yes,
you, but
ma'am.
and let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Let us not grow weary of doing good. And I know this can be interpreted in many ways, but here I'm applying it in the area of staying consistent in being active and choosing to make wise decisions when it comes to our nutrition. And I want to say to you, even when you have those days when you don't feel like it, when you're choosing to wake up early and go for a walk or run, whatever it is inspiring me. And I know many others are watching this. So please drown out the noise. Continue to post. Continue to put your inspirational things that you put on your social media, because it's motivating and encouraging us to keep moving. So thank you for being on the Moms Can Do podcast. This is the last episode of the season. And let's ring our bells. What a joy it has been.